I share greetings and goodwill to you all once again, my fellow natural native earthly humans the world over. Yes, this is yours truly, the Mystic Philosopher. And welcome to part 15, the continuation of my series of talks titled Can Africa Be Set Free? Can Burkina Faso, the land of upright people, the land of people of integrity, be set free? Now, if you haven't yet watched or listened to part 1 of this series through to part 14, I ask that you please do so before going forward with this part 15, or that you please do so at your earliest convenience or as soon as possible. You may learn something, you may be reminded of something or about something, or at the very least, you may get something to think about, something to contemplate, some food for thought. And please note that I did not say that by listening you will learn something, but that you may learn something, because the truth be told, these talks are definitely not for everyone. Because as the late Dale Carnegie once said, and I quote, "Those convinced against their will are of the same opinion still," unquote. And for the record, I'm not trying to convert or convince anyone. I'm just sharing another perspectives or another perspective or some perspectives and insight on a lot of things. Now, can Africa, the topic, can Africa be set free? Can Burkina Faso, the land of upright people, be set free? Now, by now, you all should know and know without a shadow of a doubt that my answer to these two questions is a resounding yes, yes, and more yeses. And I have already pointed out and suggested a number of things that we must do in order for us Africans that are on the continent of Africa, and more correctly, Africans that are, we that are on the continent of Alcubiland, and all of us Africans in the diaspora, all of us that are the victims of imperialism and colonialism, to be set free and once again live in accordance to how our source, our mother nature, and our most honorable ancestors had intended for us to live on this, our planet and Mother Earth. Now, and in this part 15, I will continue to do the same. Number one, here I am going to take the liberty and strongly appeal and suggest a few things or a few ideas to you, young people, you, my young people, you, my youths, you, the younger generation, you, the present and the future of our most honorable African ancestors, representations, survival, and growth upon this, our planet and Mother Earth. And why am I appealing to you and not to my companion, to my age group, to my mature or my old people, or old people like myself, or even older? Some of you might be asking. And the answer is simple and self-evident. Number one, it is because my days, and by extension our days meaning people in my batch, because we came here in batches, people in my generation, our days, our cyclic journey are almost complete, are almost over. It is very near at hand. It could be any day or any night now when we must go. Sometimes we go without even have a chance to say goodbye. And although a lot of us older folks, aka senior citizens, don't want to admit or face the reality, but the truth is that our time is running out, if not completely run out. A lot of us are indeed here right now on borrowed time. For example, for over 3,000 years or more ago, our ancestors and others figured out that our life cycle on this side of reality is an average of what? 70 years, which work out to be what? 70 years. And even though some make it beyond 70 years, the truth be told and the evidence will show and prove that for most of those who did, or for most of us who do, living was not and living is not a bed of roses. It is not the days of our youthfulness anymore. It is definitely not the days when we were full of youth. In fact, for some of us, if not most of us, or all of us, as we get closer to 70, meaning closer to expiry date, everything starts to fade, if not completely fall apart. Our memory starts to fade, our muscles starts to fade, our physical strength starts to fade, our youthful appearance not only starts to fade, but for some of us it's completely gone. In fact, it seems like our only sense that starts to intensify and become more active and alert and sensitive is our sense of feeling aches and pains. You know, the young Ed Sheeran, in what I called his a prophetic song titled Thinking Out Loud, sums it up like this, and I quote, "When your legs don't work like they used to before, and I can't sweep you off your feet, will your mouth still remember the taste of my love? Remember it? Will your eyes still smile from your cheek? Beauty fades. And darling, I'll be loving you till we are 70. I like how I put it. Even this young man realized that 70 is a milestone. It's a milestone. Yes, 70. Till we are 70. What happened after that? No guarantee. If we make it to 70. Right? And baby, my heart could still fall as hard at 23. So when you really have the real youthful impact, whether in love or whatever, it's in your youth. Your life is in your youth. Yes, young people. Now, when my hair all but gone and my memory fades, the young man is really looking ahead, right? Here, no, mine are gone. I have a lot I plotted, but it don't look the same anymore. And the crowd don't remember my name. Yes, the days coming, no one remember your name. When my hands don't play the strings the same way, I know he'll still love me the same. So everything fades when you get old. Now, the bottom line is, why I went through all of this, the bottom line is, and the point that I'm not just making, but re-establishing, is that youth is where it's at. Young men, young women, I call upon you because you're strong. Yes, I am not dissing old or dissing all of us old folks, because Mother Nature, in her wisdom, is not unkind to us. Especially those of us who had been paying attention to her teachings and her life's lessons. For what she does, what Mother Nature does, she replaces our youthfulness with experience and wisdom. But regrettably, what most of us old folks have done, and some of us are still doing, is to be using the knowledge, the experience, and the wisdom that we have gained from our Mother Nature to deceive you, the youths, to mislead you, the youths, to hang on to, and to be hanging on to leadership and power, and in some cases to live and have our will be done vicariously through you, through young people, instead of with care, teach, share, and gracefully hand over leadership and power to you, the youths. Some of us old folks are like old, weak, and feeble lions that don't want to let go their pride, even though they know that they can't defend their pride anymore until, after happen, a younger lion Yes, a younger, not an old, not an old lion, a younger lion come and guess what? Sometimes have to remove him, the old lion, using what? Force. And so, I am going to take the liberty and strongly appeal and then suggest a few things, a few ideas to you, my youths. And why? It is because you are young. It is because you are strong mentally, psychologically, intellectually, physically, and with the potential to grow and develop even stronger and in other areas as well. And my first suggestion to you is as follows. You, I may include we now, must borrow as soon as possible. First, borrow as soon as possible, purchase a copy, read religiously and meticulously, study, where possible, memorize, teach each other, and above all, practice daily the art and science, the strategies, the teachings, and the philosophies of Santos, the art of war. In fact, I strongly recommend that as soon as possible, as soon as you finish listening to this part 15, that you go to YouTube and listen to it, listen to Santu, the art of war being read, and listen to all the various comments. There are so many, there are multiple, there are numbers of videos there that you can listen to the commentaries on this great book. Yes, The Art of War by Sun Tzu, the Chinese philosopher. As I have mentioned in previous episodes and elsewhere as well, that I personally attribute China and the Chinese people's resilience, their survival, their liberation from the oppression of Western imperialism and colonialism, their success, their development, and their growth into the highly respected military, economical, and technological world giant that they are today. I attribute it all to the great book called The Art of War by Sun Tzu. And you, my youths, don't have to reinvent the wheel, but you learn from it. You can learn from it and build upon it and implement the learned strategies in order to be free. I highly recommend you read it. Number 2, and when I said borrow originally, I also mean you can borrow it from the library, but I also mean this is the Chinese philosophies. Give credit where credit due. So we're going to borrow what they did and what they are doing to be where they are from whence they came. Number 2, we must immediately, second thing I'll recommend in this, and I have a few, but maybe I can only cover 2 here. The second thing I strongly recommend we do is that we immediately begin to revive, recharge, and reconnect to our source and our African ancestral spirituality. We must immediately stop denying, stop dismissing, stop being fearful, stop rejecting, stop speaking evil and dishonorable of, and stop being ashamed of our source, the source from whence we came to be. Stop being ashamed of our gods and goddesses, etc. If you will, stop doing it. And stop being ashamed of our most honorable African ancestors. For it is from them we came, and to them we shall return. And if we are ashamed of them, they too will be ashamed of us. And if we are proud and appreciative of them, they too will be proud and appreciative of us. Just think about it. Think about this for one moment, my young people. Why is it that the first things that the imperialists and the colonizers do upon infiltrating, invading, and conquering our lands is to loot relics, valuables such as our gold and artifacts? It is to Unalive our elders, especially those who possess the knowledge. Unalive our spiritual and natural healers, priests, and spiritual guides, and then to tear down, burn, and destroy our temples, shrines, and our sacred scrolls and writings, etc., and then immediately replace them with theirs. Why do all the imperialists and colonizers or colonist religions forbid us to speak in our own language and mother tongue? And why do they colonize our minds with their language while telling us that our ancestors' language are inferior? It is simply to sever us from our source and most honorable ancestors, thus diminish and, where possible, completely destroy our power to resist and to overcome them. Thus, we must immediately begin to invoke them, to summon them, to call upon them, to acknowledge them, to pour liberation for them and to them, to revere them, to ask favor of them, to pay homage to them, to pray and honor, and to pray and to honor them, pray and honor them, our source and our most honorable ancestors. Now, please note that our enemies are gladly and reverently doing all the aforementioned to their source and to their ancestors. Now, please join me in part 15 for the continuation. I'll give you more suggestion and more idea. So, please join me in part 15 for the continuation. Can Africa be set free? Can Burkina Faso be set free? Can Burkina Faso, the land of upright people and people of integrity, be set free? In the meantime and between time, here's willing that you be more and more and much, much more, and definitely not less. Please don't accept no blessing from anyone. Be more and more and much, much more. For I am the Mystic Philosopher. Ashe, 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 I say.